for two. Kickers are extra, I give them the boot. Ooh, going for two. Sit back, relax while I grab me a brew. Ooh, now I'm reclining while putting my time and I'm ready to go. My spine is aligning and much my lineups, my bank account grow. I am so rich, but knowledge is all that I'm leaving it with. Ooh, listen to this. Multiple options, how far can I get? Ooh, DFS Dynasty redraft tonight, I'm not finishing last. I'm finishing past any and all, I am looking to last. What else? This spot is popping and I am so locked in and only opening the door when it is opportunity knocking. And all of these spots keep on talking and talking. So what are we talking? What kind of alignment? And running it deep, even players forgotten or came from the bottom or hitting that top end. And this spot is popping, yeah, this spot is popping. And woo! This is the armchair, yeah. Put up your arms, yeah. Sound the alarm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo!
What is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 316 of the Armchair Fantasy Show. I am your host, of course, Jeff Lambert. You can follow me on Twitter at JeffLambert77. We are live here every Wednesday night on the Going for Two Live Podcast Network on Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, and, of course, syndicated on all major podcast networks. If you're currently watching us on Twitter, we cannot see your comments in the chat roll, so go find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@Going4Two Live. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button while you're there as well. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ryan Searfoss. What's up, Ryan?
Oh, not much, man. Just happy you were able to get everything working tonight.
Yes,
in here after a little bit of worries. I thought I was gonna have to play video games all night and not talk to you guys.
Yeah, you'd have been so sad. I have to play video games the rest of the night.
I know. MLB The Show just came out. I wouldn't have been that upset. I'd have been really upset. I'd be going through withdrawal with only one podcast this week. No podcast this week.
All right. Joining us tonight, our guest for the first time on the show, Mr. Dylan Schmittler. He's the host of the Big D podcast. You can follow him at Dylan's Sports One. What's up, Dylan?
Not much, guys. You might have to get Lamar Jackson in a different color if he is traded by the draft or whenever.
Yeah. Ryan's a Ravens fan, so he knows all about the Lamar Jackson issues.
I don't think it's happening now. A week ago, I thought it was 100% happening. No, I don't think it's happening at all.
So, what do you think? You think he comes back to Baltimore and just plays on the franchise tag?
I bet he signs the deal here.
You think so?
I think they outbluffed him, and nobody's offering him anything. And because he has nobody telling him better. I think he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna put a big smile on his face after he signs a deal with some guaranteed money that no one else will do, but still less than he wanted.
Yeah. It's all for show. I think so too. I think he does end up in Baltimore, especially because no one seems to be clamoring to go sign him, which is kind of weird.
You know, when the Commanders, Falcons, and a couple of these other poverty franchises are like, good. Yeah. You know, he wants some absurdity.
Yep, 100%. It's a little bit crazy right now.
Love it.
All right, Dylan, give my listeners a real quick rundown of what it is you do in the fantasy space.
I usually host a football-themed podcast. I mean, varies. Some weeks it might be like we talk about episode, like what happened. Or some weeks I bring in like different people. We talk about like the Super Bowl or Dynasty redraft. I've even had you on the show, Jeff, when we did like best ball drafts.
Right.
Best ball drafts where like our best ball to figure out like how many of our guys are going to get hurt, or like the 15th round running back to become Isaiah Pacheco or Ramondre Stevenson, right?
Right. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, I went on your show. It was sometime during the season last year. It was preseason, wasn't it? It was sometime in August.
Like May.
Was it that early? Yeah.
Yeah. The Elijah Mitchell pick didn't work out that well.
No, it definitely did not. Yeah, not for sure. That was my my number one owned player last year. But my rookie best ball leagues did really well. All right, as always, guys, today's show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check out their industry-leading best ball leagues with huge tournaments, private leagues, and pick'ems for all major sports. Sign up using our promo code GF2 and get a deposit match up to $100. Simple as that. Sign up, use promo code GF2, and you can start drafting your best ball teams. All right, so tonight's show is going to be a little bit unique. We're going to do a mailbag show tonight. We're just going to have all listeners' questions. So if anybody's in the chat, you want to drop some questions, we'll try to get to as many as we can tonight. But as always, we kick off the podcast with our nonsense draft.
Attention, everyone. Let's mock draft.
So tonight we are drafting animals that would be a problem if they were bigger. So you got the number one here. You got the 101, Dylan. So where are you going here with animals that would be a problem if they were bigger?
I'm going bat.
Yeah, going bat. How big are you making this bat?
Big enough.
Yeah, that's a good pick there. That's yeah. Is there a certain kind of bat? Vampire bat, I'm assuming that's the one that's most dangerous to humans.
I think any kind of bat, especially one that's bigger now. Now all of a sudden, instead of eating like critters or like little bits of food, it could potentially eat one of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Or your dog. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody's got a dog or a cat lying around the house.
Yeah, definitely would be a problem. All right, so I got the 102 here, and I debated on a bunch of different answers here, and I came up with this one first. This would have been my 101 had I gone first. It's one of the most efficient killers in nature, just in general. It's small, so it doesn't have any effect on humans, but the praying mantis, if that thing was bigger. It's been known to take down small birds. It's been known to take down lizards. I mean, things that are 3, 4, 5 times its size. If that thing was bigger, it would definitely be a problem. Like I said, it's one of the most efficient killers because it could stand still and you not even see it until it's too late. And of course, they're famous for the women once they have mated, they eat the mate. They chop off the head of their mate after they do their thing. So
Jeff, I heard that's what your 20s was like.
So praying mantis is the 102. Ryan, you got the 103.
Go with ants. There are 20 quadrillion ants on the planet. That's 2.5 million per person. And they can lift 5,000 times their weight. Imagine if we had golden retriever sized ants engulfing our planet. There would be no other species of anything left.
Yeah, ants was definitely on my list as well, and I thought about going with that one because you're right. Just the sheer numbers alone would be ridiculous.
And how strong they are.
Yeah, and they work as a group too. I mean, it's not like you can, you can't just kill one of them. They're all coming for you.
A 40-pound ant can level your house.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, an ant would be that's a great choice. All right, Dylan, we're back to you at the 104. What you got here?
Well, honey, I'm going to sting you with my choice, a bee.
A bee. That would be definitely a problem right there, especially if you get like a whole swarm of them.
I mean, you imagine. You imagine how annoying bees are now. Where bees are bigger, they're just going to be a bigger pain in the you know what. And plus, a lot of people are allergic to bees. So you imagine a bigger bee when you're allergic to them. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue for sure. All right, I'm up at the 105, and I'm going to go a different route here. So the first one I went with like one of the most efficient killers in nature. This one you probably can't appreciate unless you live in the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., Maryland area, but they only come out every 17 years. We only get them every 17 years. These things.
I know you're gonna. Yeah.
There's cicadas. They come out of the ground. They live there for 17 years. They come out of the ground. They're a nuisance for like 2 weeks. They don't actually hurt you, and they don't really do anything. The issue with them, if they were bigger, is they are the dumbest and clumsiest bugs I've ever seen. Like you will watch them literally fly straight into a tree, just bump it. If you're walking down the street, they'll hit you in the face. So if you imagine you make them the size of like a hawk, and these dumb, stupid birds are flying around, running into your car and just bumping into you, and the sheer numbers of them. I mean, they're so loud to begin with. Like you can literally hear them inside your house for that 2 weeks that they are here in Virginia. It's pretty deafening. So if they were bigger, they would definitely be a problem. Just by accident, they'd be a problem. Ryan, you got the 106.
Dude, just spiders, man. They're all creepy. They're gross. They should all be burned to fire. And if they were huge, it'd be terrifying. So no spiders.
Yeah, spiders would be definitely on my list as well. That was one I considered too, because I mean, could you imagine like walking through a cobweb if they're like huge and
Bro,
you're like stuck on a cobweb? You're done.
That part in Harry Potter still like lives rent free in my head. When we're in that spider cave, that's nightmare fuel. I'm good.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Dylan, you got your last pick here at the 107. What you got?
I'm going rhinoceros beetle.
Rhinoceros beetle.
Beetle. Oh, that's a good pull. I like that.
I looked this up. A rhinoceros beetle can lift 850 times. It can lift up to like 850 times its own weight.
Yeesh. And they eat
Now,
crops
fortunately
too.
for humans, they are not. Fortunately for humans, unlike bees, they won't sting you, but they may annoy you.
Yeah, and they will kill a whole feast of crops too. So our farms would be in trouble and our food source would be in trouble. That's for sure. All right, I'm up at the last pick here, and there's a couple different ways that I could go, but I think I'm just going to go with something that's pretty much harmless, but they just look freaky and scary, and I get them in my basement all the time. But a freaking spider cricket, I hate those things. They just look.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, look up spider cricket. It looks like a spider and a cricket. Just imagine if a spider could jump. That's basically what this thing looks like, and it makes noise. I get it in my basement, but they're freaky looking. If they were bigger,
I'm good.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm moving on from those things. They
Hard
scared me
pass.
when they're little already. If they were big, it'd be over with for me. All right, Ryan, close us out here. What you got for your last pick?
I'm going with all small little sub 5 pound yippy dogs that bark and try to bite everything because they're mean by nature.
Yeah.
And if you give them some girth, they're a problem.
Yeah, I like that one because those little dogs, they think that they're the boss. You know, a lot of times the little dogs are the boss of the bigger dogs. So you give them some girth and some size. It's gonna be a problem.
Man. You can have all these big old Corso terriers running around, King Corsos running around. They're fine, but you get little Yorkies who are that big, they're just attacking people.
Yeah, 100%. A couple answers coming through in the chat here. Jamie says a honey badger the size of a bear. That would definitely be a problem. Nemo saying look up what did he say? Camel spider. I don't even want to know what that looks like.
I don't, but I have like a sick thing where I have to see.
He's gonna pull it up.
Oh no, that is bro, those are already huge. Stop that. They don't need to be no
They
bigger.
don't need to be bigger. They're good enough where they're
Yeah, that thing's like the size of a person's calf. I'm good. No. That's a guy. That's a dog.
All right, so we got a mailbag episode tonight. We're just going to be doing all listener questions. So if you're in the chat, you want to drop some questions. We got some that are preloaded from some people on Discord, Facebook, and Twitter is where I polled. But if you're in the chat, you want us to answer one of your questions, we will get to them as well. Let me go ahead and hit the drop.
Go ahead. Ask me anything.
All right, Ryan, we'll kick this one right at the top here. This is it's a Dynasty trade here. Not a whole lot of information as far as if it's super flex or anything, but it's a 12-team PPR Dynasty. One side is Tony Pollard and this year's 105 or Jonathan Taylor. What side you take in there?
Dude, it's huge if it's super flex or not. If it's super flex, I'm taking the package. Because 105 guarantees you a quarterback, JSN or Gibbs. Like your 105 is beautiful pick, but if it's not super flex, you're going to be squeezing a little bit. It's going to be like Addison and Pollard, and I'm probably still going to lane Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that's 100% the way I'm leaning too. If it's super flex, because those quarterbacks will go probably 2, 3, and 4. So you're looking at the top receiver or the second best running back on the board at 105.
I have a feeling in the pit of my stomach Dallas is adding another running back. I think it's gonna be Bijan, but I think they're adding another back. There's just this feeling it's their way. They always had a big power back. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that would be a good pick there at 105. What about you, Dylan? What are you going here? Tony Pollard in the 23 105 or Jonathan Taylor?
I think I would take Pollard in 105, whether it's super flex or not. I mean, depending on what league you're in. I mean, trying to think like who would even be the best receiver That's what would it be? JSM? Would it be the kid from SC, or potentially even Quentin Johnson if he went to like Houston maybe?
Yeah, good landing
Might
spot
be
to do that.
available.
Yep. Shout out to Courtney in the chat there. Courtney's going to be on our NFL draft episode coming up at the end of the month. So Courtney's checking in with us. All right, let's move to the next question here. This one is actually from Nemo. He's in the chat. I saw him earlier. So I'm gonna read. It's a pretty long one here. So his
Were you able to find
situation
him?
is he's got no picks until 2025 because he sold them all to make a run. Made a couple bad trades. His current roster is set to compete, but it may be out of players if he gets injured. Do I stick to my guns or do I trade my assets to get picks? And then he has another one that we'll ask in a second here. But so I'm gonna go to you first, Ryan. Give me your thoughts on your strategy here. His roster is set to compete, but if he has one or two injuries, he's SOL. Does he go for the rebuild now, or what does he do?
Dude, honestly, if you're competing now, don't go for the rebuild. I get myself in this situation a lot. Like, I really do. It's one of my fatal flaws in fantasy. That kind of just I'm all in all the time. Don't like force it. Like if you think you compete, stick with it. Try to compete. Try to make some moves as the season goes on. If you do have some injuries and you're not competing, guess what? That's when you sell off veterans for 2024 picks. Just be patient. Like patience is the biggest thing when it comes to Dynasty, especially if you maybe have a top 5 team and are move or two away. Don't force a pick or force getting young. The idea is to win, not to be young forever.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let me go ahead and get to this question in the chat here, Dylan. I'll give this one to you. This is from Courtney. She said her and Ryan talked earlier, but in a startup dynasty this weekend, no rookies, vets only. She's the 7th pick out of 12. What's your strategy there at the 7th pick? So you're basically right in the right dead center in there. What are you looking at in your startup drafts here for the 7th pick?
It's hers is super flex, by the way.
Super flex, right?
Okay, so that would so if you think the big 5 would be Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Trevor, Hurts. I mean, could that be? I'm trying to think. Could that be?
That's 6 right there.
Lamar too.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lamar.
no, well, I'm not sure. I mean, could that be? Probably. I mean, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is a possibility too. I think there's plenty of quarterbacks that at 7 you're still getting a really good quarterback.
I think Justin Fields. In fact, I've even heard Justin Fields could be like 104, 105. I think Fields could be with his. Depending on how you leave scored, I think Fields could be a top 5 super flex pick. I think it could be potentially Trevor or one of these guys. Obviously, you're still getting a really good quarterback, but Trevor Lawrence doesn't offer you the rushing upside of a Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think this year is a great year. Actually, being 7 is almost perfect because I think there's probably 7 quarterbacks that are really good. So you're getting that 7th good quarterback, whoever it may be. But then you're going to be the first one back on the other side of the draft, getting a good player on the other side. So that's actually a really good spot to be at. I think I like the 7th pick there. I have one more for Nemo here, Ryan. I'll go to you on this one. Another one he has is Isaiah Pacheco. Are you selling him or are you keeping him?
What's the 7th round pick thing he has? That's what I'm not sure. It says that underneath it.
I think it's because he was a 7th round pick in the NFL draft.
Oh, that's why I put that. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably keep him. I don't think his unless I get somebody who like really wants him, I don't think you're going to get the value that he could be. Like, I don't think you get the value of his ceiling because of everybody thinks he's replaceable, even though he did play very well last year. I think he's a hold for now. He might get burned on it, but as late as it was, who cares? Like at the draft, if they come out and they don't draft a running back, that value skyrockets. Dude, roll the dice.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. I think he's definitely worth more on your roster than he is trying to trade him because people think like he did. 7th round pick could be replaced, that kind of thing. People are thinking the same thing.
You're not gonna get. Oh, he said Pacheco 1.5 and Dalvin 1.5 in super flex. I'd probably take the 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 for me as well.
Because, like, if you're looking at that gets you, say, top 3 quarterback with Richard Young or Stroud or so it gives you J.S. Henry Gibbs or one of the quarterbacks. You're sitting pretty there. Take that.
Agreed. All right, let's get this next question here, Dylan. This one's from Atomic Dog 05 on the Discord channel. It's a 12-team Superflex Dynasty. So he wants to know, would you trade Tua, the 111, the 204, and a 24 first-round pick for the 101, basically for Bijan Robinson? So you're giving up Tua, the 111, the 204, and a 24 first-round pick for Bijan Robinson. What are you doing with this?
I don't think I'd give up that much even for Bijan Robinson.
I don't know.
I mean, Bijan Robinson's really good. The best running back I've seen in a long time. Maybe the best running. I mean, I don't remember Barry Sanders when he came out of Oklahoma State, but I think Bijan's the best running back I've seen since maybe AP.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. So I actually own the 101 in one of my leagues. And I've been telling everybody who's come asking about him that I'm not trading him for anything less than 3 first-round picks. Well, however you combine that, if it's going to be 2 this year, 1 next year, 1 this year, 2 next year, however it's going to be, that's how I'm selling them. And looking at this, it's pretty close. He's got the 111 in there. Tua, you could argue, could potentially be first and a 24 first. I think I'm holding the 101. What about you, Ryan? What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm going the 101. I want the elite player. 111 is a huge question mark. 204 is a huge question mark. Like 111, you're looking at like Mike Mayer or one of the wide receivers who has some big questions. 2.04 is kind of that same range. 2024 is 2024. And 2 is so good. I mean, you're going to have to make a move. Like he showed his other running backs on there. You're going to have to move Mixon or Kamara to get another quarterback because you're really hurting there. But the team's not really going to like – that's going to get you closer to competing having Bijan than those other guys.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's close, but it's not quite what I would want for the 101. I don't think
I've seen him all the way as the 1.02 in non-superflex rookie draft or non-superflex startups.
Startups, yeah, I've seen
like he's going that high.
Yeah, I actually in the league that I have the 101 is actually a startup that we did the rookie draft picks in the startup, and I think I took it at 201. I had like the last pick, so I took the kicker. You know how we do this time. Yeah. You pick the kicker for the draft pick, so I took him at 201 to make sure I got him. So
I just did that in a Superflex startup. It was actually him because we didn't do the rookie picks, but I actually took Bijan at the 201.
Yeah, actually, it's Superflex too. I forgot to mention that, so it's a little bit different than what you're saying with the 102 and non-Superflex. But yeah, this one was Superflex. All right, let's move down to, I'm not even sure how to pronounce this, RD Hustler 23 on the Discord channel. And I'll go to you first, Ryan. It's a 12-team Superflex PPR. He says he's competing this season and has one of the better teams. Would you trade Jamar Chase for the 101 and DJ Moore?
Oh my. I'm looking at it. That's a big boy trade.
It is.
Like that's a big boy trade. Like if you're kind of going off ADP, he's fairly solid at wide receiver. That's gonna be great. He's awesome at running back. I don't know what the starting situation is, but if you're going off ADP, Chase and Bijan are neck and neck where you're going. So you're not losing a ton of value and adding DJ Moore to it. I'm gonna lean towards the package. But it's close, man. If you love Jamar Chase, don't do it. But if you're indifferent, I think the package is just a little bit better.
I don't think I trade Jamar Chase even for Bijan and DJ Moore. Now, I'm trying to think where would Chase be in a Superflex draft? Was he one? Is he like one? Is that a battle between him and his ex-college teammate Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, it's one of those two.
My startup I just did, Chase won 110 overall in the Superflex startup, and Bijan went 2-1. So they went 4 spots apart.
And DJ Moore is, I think, worth
4 spots. Fourth round pick. Yeah, I think he's worth 4 spots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely close for me. I would definitely hate to lose Jamar Chase if I had him. But yeah, it's definitely tempting. I think I want to keep Jamar Chase. But
He's also very good. He also is very good at running back. His
Yeah,
running
he
backs
is.
are much stronger than the receivers, so
Yeah.
I think I go either way.
It might also depend on who your quarterback is, because your quarterback's Joe Burrow, I want Jamar Chase. Your quarterback's Justin Fields, I might want DJ Moore.
Yeah, he doesn't list his quarterbacks here, but yeah, you're right, Ryan. His running backs are pretty decent. He's got Saquon, Nick Chubb, Miles Sanders.
They're still getting old. Like, and his wide receivers are pretty young to an extent. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
he's got Waddle in there, and then he's obviously got Chase because he's trying to trade him. After that, though, it falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
I might stay still, actually, looking at his team, stick with Chase.
Yeah.
Just looking at his team and his receivers, Chase Waddle's awesome, and Saquon Chubb, Miles Sanders is really solid. I think I'd stay still, not looking at that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's see. We got another one here from Pat William. This was on one of the Facebook groups that I'm on. He wants to know, who were some of the wide receivers equal in value to the 101? I'm looking at ADP. I noticed that Lamb, AJB, and Wilson seem to be behind him, but Jefferson and Chase seem to be straight up. So this is another Bijan Robinson question here, Ryan. Give me your thoughts here. Is any of these receivers you think are a 1-on-1 trade for the 101 overall pick?
So, it's weird because I think you can get more for him than a 1-for-1 trade. If I'm drafting, I might take some of those receivers over him. But trading wise, I'm not. I think you get more value out of the 101 getting packages. And like you said, asking for 3 firsts on him or more, 3 firsts on a player is very doable. You're not going to get that for AJ Brown, or CeeDee Lamb, no matter how good they are. Flipping Bijan is worth more than them. So outside of those top 2, probably taking Bijan just because I'm planning on flipping him. Like, you could literally take him and trade him for Lamb in a late first.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't bat an eye.
Yep.
So if they offered you that for your 101 right now, you'd have to think about it.
Yep.
I think you'd probably say it'd have to be a mid to high first with him. So why would you take them over him when you can get that extra value later on in a flip?
Agreed. All right, the next one here for Dylan. This is David Smith, also on the Facebook group. He wants to know, and this is a question that I've kind of talked about a little bit recently. We did a combined mock draft with last year's rookies and this year's rookies. But if Jameson Williams was in this draft class and healthy, where does he fall with these wide receivers? Like, you have him as the 1, you have him behind JSN, you have him, with Addison, with Johnston. Where do you have him ranked here?
Jameson Williams would be number 1 and wouldn't even be close, because Jameson Williams provides the speed and the excellent route running. JSN provides the quickness and great agility, but he's not going to run a fast 40. Jameson Williams provides the speed and the agility. And you also look at the fact that he's playing with that. When you look at 2021, Jameson Williams and JSN, when both of them were healthy until the end, I mean, both of them were really good, but I think Jameson Williams in today's NFL has got a little bit of extra speed, but it's not much of a drop-off between Williams and JSN. I still would like Williams finishing, because he can go 70 yards when JSN is going to get you maybe that 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 for first down.
Yeah. I've said this, a couple of times, that JSN would be my receiver 4 if he came out last year, because I had Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, and Garrett Wilson ranked over JSN. Now, Ryan, I want to ask you.
And you imagine that Marvin Harrison's better than going to be.
He's getting so much hype, it's ridiculous. Ryan, I want to ask you, because I know you love JSN. Where would you have him?
I also love James Williams, because he's my wide receiver 2 last year. So it's crazy. I brought up my grading system, because it didn't change from last year to this year. Film grades, Jameson Williams has 66, and JSN had 64. Next, after the film grades, they flip-flopped to 75 for Jameson Williams and 74 for JSN. I think landing spot makes a difference for them. They both bring a lot. Like JSN is going to be, yes, he's not that deep threat, but he's going to get a ton of targets. He's going to work underneath. He's a 120 target guy, where Jameson Williams might be a little bit more boom bust because he is such a deep threat, and you don't always have those shots downfield, especially with the target monster like Amon-Ra with him. So I don't know how he's getting to that 130, 140 target range, which you could see for JSN, just because of how the skill set works. So I'll probably lean JSN, but it's really close for me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you there that, JSN and the right offense could get that volume.
I think he gets that volume in any offense, though. Like, his skill set's very quarterback friendly. He catches everything. He can play above the rim. He creates separation with his quick route running. His shuttle was unbelievable. His quickness is off the charts, and that's how you create space underneath.
Yep. Good call. You almost convinced me, but not quite. I'm still taking Jameson Williams.
Well, be wrong, bro. That's cool. Okay, I don't care.
All right, the next question we have here. I don't happen to my show sheet on the computer's not working right, so I'm going to do it on my phone. I got Jamie here, who's actually, I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but he had a question on Facebook. He says, with AJ Dillon at 25 years old and playing 40 to 50% of the snaps with Aaron Jones, where are you ranking him, and what's his value going forward? We'll go to you first, Dylan, here. Where do you have AJ Dillon sort of ranked among running backs?
Is it does it matter if it's like half point or full point PPR?
Let's just go with full point PPR, because that's what we mostly talk about on the show.
20s, maybe low mid 20s, 21, 25, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up my rankings real quick here to see where I have him ranked. What about you, Ryan? Where do you think you have him, or do you have your rankings pulled up there?
I'm trying to pull up my rankings too. Probably a little bit lower than that. I don't think he's gonna be great without Aaron Rodgers there. Like, we're looking at one, he's still gonna lose targets in touches to Aaron Jones. Those red zone opportunities where a big 230, 240 pound back is supposed to thrive in. Guess what? That offense kind of stinks now. Like, there's not really great receivers. They're going to have a really hard time moving the ball, which means it's not going to be red zone opportunities. And him living in that 20-20 range in an inefficient offense, I mean, you're like looking lower than that David Montgomery range for me. And he's kind of just a plotter. Like, I'm just not excited about AJ Dillon anymore. Yeah. So however high I have him rated, it's too high.
It's too high. So I pulled up my rankings here. I have him actually ranked at number 27. One spot above the guy that you mentioned, David Montgomery.
Boom! Didn't he have to look and knew that?
Yeah. It's tough. Let's see. Just for reference, too, I got Aaron Jones at 20. So he's
that's about right. I'm fine with that.
Low end RB2, and then Dillon's at. He's gonna have those games where he's has a really big game. He gets gets a few touchdowns, but you're just never gonna know what it is. So I just don't know if I can trust him. So I think I'm with you on that, in the 20s somewhere. All right, let's go next question here. Also on Facebook, and I'll go to you, Ryan, because we kind of did this on Going for Two. You weren't part of it, but we did that combined draft.
Okay.
Who's the better prospect, Kenneth Walker or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Hold on. I had it up and then I closed it because I was looking at something else. So 72 at this point, and I love Jahmyr Gibbs' skill set. I love both of them actually, but I had Walker just a little bit higher than Gibbs off the film grade. I think just because of actually no, I have Gibbs 1 point higher. Just because, but still with Walker's skill set, he's more of an every down back and can get a lot more touches. I think landing spot for Gibbs matters a little bit because he is just such a receiving threat more than an in-between pounder. I don't know if he doesn't get an offense that utilizes the passing game out of the backfield, it could hurt him. But he's electric, man. Like, he's a great prospect. I'm not going to hate on it either way, but Walker's special. Like, Walker brought a lot running the ball.
Yeah.
And still, as good as pass catching backs are, it has to be a perfect situation for them to succeed. Like Alvin Kamara is the person everybody's compared to, but Alvin Kamara was also in the perfect offense. His whole career was in the perfect offense for his skill set. And you see that comparison with those two a lot. So it could matter a little bit more for Gibbs because of what he brings.
Yeah, good point. We got another question in the chat here, Dylan. We'll go to you on this one. It's actually about Dylan again. It's Jamie. He just wanted to know, just sort of to expand on this thing. Dylan or one of the rookies, obviously not one of the top rookies, but Kendra, Tank. I think they're going what, Ryan? Like high twos, late first. Those two guys,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at like the 201, the 202.
No, probably later than that.
You think so? Like
I think yeah. I've been getting Kendrick pretty late in drafts, rookie drafts.
What are you going with here, Dylan? Dylan or one of those rookies?
I think it might depend on landing spot with like Tank Biggs, with like one of those guys, because you imagine Tank Bigsby ends up one of these teams where they just run the ball game, like if he ended, like I'm trying to think,
like if he went to Tennessee.
Oh gosh, yeah, Tennessee would be a perfect landing spot for him. Yeah, Derrick Henry, the Derrick Henry 2.0.
Yeah, I think that would be a good landing spot. I think Henry's, I think he's probably got one more year where he's going to dominate, but I think in the long run, if Tank goes there, I'd like him. Nemo's got another question here, Ryan, too. I want to make sure we get as many of the live questions as we can. He's got a trade question here. He's got Mixon, Evans, and Goddard for 324 firsts.
It's simply put, if I'm not competing this year, like I don't think I have a choice for a chance for a championship, I'm taking the firsts.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm competing, I'm staying still. Like simple as that. It doesn't matter. Like 3 firsts puts you in an awesome situation. And honestly, I might do it either way. You could flip those firsts for basically any player you want.
Yeah.
Like you talked about 3 firsts for your Bijan share. He could probably Bijan's obtainable with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're right, because nobody's really going to be buying, Mixon and Evans because they're kind of towards the end.
You're not getting first for any of those guys straight up.
Nope.
Just do that. Yeah. Like I'd smash accept that.
100%. All right, let's see. Our next question here on, let's see, this is another Facebook one from Anthony Hartman. There was a ton of hype about the 23 class. It sounds to me like it's not necessarily a good class as much as it is a few, and I mean a few elite prospects. His question is, are people overlooking the rest of this draft class, or are they getting overshadowed by my unbearable weight of getting overshadowed by the unbearable weight of massive talent? Ryan, I know we talked about this quite a bit on the show. I've always said that this class is a good class top to bottom, but it's not a great class top to bottom. But what are your thoughts here on this question as far as them getting overshadowed?
Yeah, I think it's a good class. I think it's a depth class. I think it gives you a lot of protection in fantasy. Outside of the top 5 picks, you have some good dart throws who could break out at the end of the mid to end of the first round. But you're looking at a lot of guys to fill out your roster. While none of it's sexy in fantasy football, how many of those Dynasty RB2, RB3, wide receiver 4s do you need on your team for depth later on who could find a role later? Like it's very important. And while there may not be as many high-end guys as we want or we've seen recently, there might be as much, if not more depth than we've seen. So it's good, but in a completely different way. It's good in like you're eating food that's sustainable instead of like a delicious steak. It's like you're just eating. It's like you're eating sides instead of the filet mignon. Like it's a very good sustainable draft to help.
Yeah.
Unless you're first in the buffet line, got Bijan. Like there's positives. It's just how you were looking at it. We've been spoiled with some great players, and people will break out.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's a very good way of putting it. I like that the food analogy there. All right, Dylan, the next one's for you here. This one's coming from Eagle. He's on the Discord. He's considering offering Saquon for the 104 in his Dynasty Superflex League. The caveat here, he already has the 102, where he'll get one of the QBs most likely. And he's talking about getting JSN potentially. Is it worth it, Saquon for the 104, you think, straight up?
I think it would depend on what the rest of your roster looks like, because if you don't have a lot of running backs, that might be different. But if you have running back depth and may need that young wide receiver, I don't think JSM or one of these guys would be a bad pick. The question is, I mean, in one of my leagues, I ended up trading Saquon last year. I think I ended up trading Saquon for T. Higgins.
That's a good trade. I would take that.
For T. Higgins.
Not now, you wouldn't, Ryan. Last year, you would have.
No, I wouldn't have. Guarantee you I wouldn't have.
I don't know. Last year, people were down on Saquon.
Not this guy. I can bring him my rankings from last year. Not this guy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and now I mean my dynasty, and then I ended up getting T. Higgins, and I'm on Ron St. Brown's my dynasty wide receivers. I think I'm on Ron like every one of my teams, on like both my Yarrow teams and my dynasty team.
Yeah, I love Amon-Ra. We talked about him a lot last year. So Ryan, what do you think? Saquon and the 104.
Saquon, you take the best talent. Like Saquon, start up wise is going 205 latest. That 104 is going, or 105, 104. Going much
104.
Like, I'm taking Saquon, dude. He's an elite talent. He's still there. He's going to get a ton of carries. He's still fairly young. Just chill. Like it's a lot. You can get more for Saquon than the 105.
Yeah. That was my point too. Is you could probably get a little bit more for Saquon because
if you're making a trade and you realistically can say I can get more, even if it's a little bit, you probably shouldn't make that trade when it comes to that on a player like him.
Agreed. All right, this next one is here from the Discord. It is TNFF Auction Joe. Let's see. I'm just trying to break it down. So basically, pick a side here. He doesn't give us if it's super flex or not. It must be super flex. So I see he says QB2. So it's super flex league dynasty. Kyler Murray, Hollywood Brown, and the 109, or CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. Ryan, what you got here for this one?
Oh, CeeDee Lamb, and AJ Brown. Like you're getting wide receivers 3 and 4 right there. It's huge. Like you pull that trade.
But you got the quarterback in there.
It's fine. Who cares? And I like Kyler. I like Kyler probably more than most people. I don't care. That's 2 elite players who you start every week with 0 questions and 0 worries.
Would it change your mind if his QB2 after losing Murray was Cooper Rush?
Is Super
Flex League. That would be his QB2 if he trades away Kyler Murray. Cooper Rush would be his QB2.
I mean, it's not ideal, but I think you can make it work. Like you're gonna have to move some stuff around, but it's early in the year. It's freaking March.
Yeah.
You'll make some deals. I'm not saying you have to keep both those guys, but you're getting more value. Like your roster construction doesn't matter at this point of the season.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I agree with you. I think
make the deal. Take the best play. It's March. You take the best players in your team. Damn roster construction.
Yep, 100% agree.
I would do that deal in a heartbeat because guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what quarterback I can get with 4 one of those wide receivers because Kyler might not even play that much this year, so it's never going to hurt Kyler's value. It's going to hurt Marquise Brown. And the 109 would be...
109 is probably Zay Flowers.
Addison, Hyatt, something like that, Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I was thinking Zach Charbonnet from UCLA.
All right. Another live question here, and I'll go to you first, Dylan. This is from Jamie again. Pretty simple question here. Njoku or Trey McBride for a tight end premium league? Straight up, which one of those 2 guys do you want? You want the guy that had a good season last year or the guy that seems to be like a sleeper for this year that seems to be coming along as a popular player?
I wish I knew who Arizona's quarterback was going to be this year. That would answer my question.
Yeah, that's a tough question because you're right. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be there.
I'll probably take Njoku because at least we know Deshaun Watson's going to be playing the whole year. And no, I think Deshaun's going to be better. He can't be any worse than he was, the last 6 games.
Yeah. What about you, Ryan? I'm curious to your thoughts here. Njoku or McBride?
I mean, outside the top 4 tight ends, just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But no, I think Kyler's the QB there. I like Trey McBride's upside. And Njoku's getting near 29. We've only seen hits here or there. Cleveland seems to be adding other talent as well. So those targets he got are going to go down a little bit. I like McBride in the future, especially if D-Hop leaves, because that leaves a big red zone threat away for them. So I'm going to lean McBride because I'm a sucker for you sometimes.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's see. We got another one here from the Facebook group. Jim Brower. First year playing Dynasty, took over an existing team. It's a 14-team Superflex. He got offered these picks, the 106, the 213. I don't know if that's Hayden Hurst or if he meant to put Jalen Hurst, but I think it's probably the way he listed it. I'm sure it's got to be Hayden Hurst. Wan'Dale Robinson and Brian Robinson for his 104 and Dawson Knox. So that's I don't know. That seems like a weird trade.
One more time. Hayden Hurst.
So it's
Wan'Dale Robinson.
The 106, the 213, Hayden Hurst, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Brian Robinson for his 104 and Dawson Knox. So basically, this guy wants to move up 2 spots and get a tight end for all that package. Seems a little.
Is this Superflex?
It is Superflex, 14 teams. So this guy's coming up to get a quarterback, obviously, because he wants the 104, because it's going to be Bijan and then 3 quarterbacks. He wants that third quarterback, and moving up 2 spots gets him that third quarterback.
I'm presuming that would be for Anthony Richardson, right?
Yeah, most likely I would think that'd be Anthony Richardson. And if he stays at the 106, he's probably getting what?
Yeah, you're cool. Make that take the 106 side.
Yeah,
take the package. 106 still gives you an elite player.
Yeah.
That gives you JSN or Gibbs. Pull it. If it was 107, I'd say no. 106, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think
that gets you one of the 3 quarterbacks, Bijan, Gibbs, JSN.
Yep.
Not Bijan, but like after that, there's that cutoff. You're staying within it. You're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it is 6 guys that are there, and then the 7th is a drop off. So I'll take the package there. All right, this one is from Chili Willy on the Discord. He's got a contending team, 12-team Superflex tight end premium. Let's see. You're trying to read his decipher. This is what he's got here. He's looking at 24 first and Malik Willis for Ramondre Stevenson and a 24 third or 4th, whatever he's willing to give up. So 24 first and Malik Willis for Ramondre Stevenson and a 24 third. I'll let you take this one, Dylan. What you got?
First off, I don't even think Malik Willis will be the Tennessee future quarterback after next month's draft. They may end up taking Will Levis for all we know, if he's there. I'll take Stevenson, even with New England signed James Robinson. I think Stevenson's the guy there, even though it seems like New England is finding a running back. I want Stevenson. I have no. I mean, yeah, the first round pick's nice, but I don't even know if Malik Willis will be with the Titans. I want the player. I want Ramondre Stevenson.
What about you, Ryan? Where are you going with this one?
Yeah, let's just say it's Ramondre for the 24
That's
first.
What it really is. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm taking Ramondre.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't even know how much details you have to go. Like, you're taking a starting running back who's got a top 4 rounds of fantasy or at first or for next year. If you have any chance of even being like a mediocre to a good team, take the player who's playing now. And if he breaks out, you can sell him later and get that back.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's what I was going to say is basically it's a 24 first for Ramondre, and I'm taking Ramondre all day, every day on that one. Because like you said, he's not only is he a starting running back for a team, he's also, pretty young as well. So he's got a few years left in the tank. So yeah, definitely taking Ramondre there. Let's see if there's any more in the chat there. I'm gonna see if we got any more questions because we are out of our preloaded questions. Nemo just wants he's got a comment here, Ryan. I want you to just comment on because I know how much you love this guy. He's like, "Have you seen Levis?" And then his next comment is, "Dude is jacked."
Yeah, Tim Tebow was jacked too, and he still can't throw the football.
Ryan hates Will Levis. In case y'all didn't know,
Is Will Levis competing on the world's strongest quarterback?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan is not a fan of Will Levis, but he will be drafted, probably in the first round. So who knows? There is some potential there. I kind of watched.
He's got the top 20, like probably higher. Like his floor is probably Tampa.
Yeah,
right? But
they're at 19.
still
I think, right?
Yeah,
I think Levis's floor is Tennessee
it could be. Yeah, I still think he stinks.
because Ryan Tannehill's 35. He's not a young pup anymore.
No, and they've already said they're going to go rebuild. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I did some film research on Will Levis today, but I was looking for his low lights. I did a YouTube short on Will Levis's low lights and had some some sacks and some interceptions that I was watching today.
Yeah, I was watching corner film today because I love watching defensive backs, and oh god, I can't remember who it was. The very first play that they showed on his highlights was him picking off Will Levis, and I just cracked up. And it was DJ Turner. First play, he picked him off. And I was like, just sitting there giggling because it was awesome.
Good stuff. All right, that wraps up all of our questions. We got one live read, then we'll get to our final segment of the night. Dynasty managers, you want something fun and unique for your league? For as little as $8.50 a person, you can in a 12-man league. You can get one of our 1 live hour podcasts dedicated to your league. We break down every team in your league. We rank them from worst to first. Just visit goingfor2.com/PLP for details and to book. We do Dynasty, Redraft, Superflex, Vampire Leagues, and more. Again, that link is goingfor2.com/PLP. PLP stands for Personal League Podcast. Go book one now.
Get ready for goingfor2.com's Forgotten Fantasy Player of the Week.
All right, Dylan, you said we're gonna have our thinking caps on for this one, so let's see how well you can stump me and Ryan.
All right. I've been thinking about this player, and you'll have to go. And I didn't want to go way back, but back enough where you may be able to get him, but we'll see.
All right, give us your first hint.
Okay, first hint. He went to a Big Ten school in the 2000s.
That's not gonna
Ron
help me
Dane.
at all.
No.
That's Ryan's guess every time.
Every time. One day it's gonna work.
No.
All right.
Okay.
What else you got? Because that doesn't help me at all. I don't even watch college. I wouldn't even be able to tell you the teams that are in the Big Ten.
He went to a school where at least one of the same position became famous in the NFL.
One more time.
He became his school has produced at least one other great player at his position.
At the same position.
Okay.
Yeah, that still doesn't help me at all. I need some more hints.
Okay, let me see. Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl champ. Yeah, I'm still drawing a blank on this one. I need some NFL stuff. I need
New England Patriot killer.
New England Patriot killer. So let's think. It's got to be probably someone from the AFC East then, if they consider him. Curtis Martin.
Nope. Martin was drafted in 95.
No, a little bit before.
You said this player was drafted in 95?
No,
you said Curtis Martin drafted.
Oh.
This player was drafted in the 2000s, you said?
Yes. First round pick.
Crap. Who's that Dolphins running back? Ronnie Brown.
It's not Ronnie Brown.
I knew he was a New England quarterback or a New England Patriot killer.
Keep going.
Let me see.
Jamie's calling him.
I don't even know if I can put that on screen.
I'm done. I'm done. I quit.
Show's over.
Show's over. It's been going for 2.com. Bye.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell. I gotta put it out there because this is a great comment. This is like Jamie says, "Patriots killer." ... Aaron Hernandez. Great joke, Jamie. You probably just got us canceled.
Yes.
I didn't mean him, but he did play the same position as Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, okay. So we're thinking tight ends now. Tight end. Let's see.
Jamie Shockey?
No,
he went to Miami. Shit. Oh, that was stupid.
he didn't even play the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Oh man, I'm drawing a blank, and tight ends is tough. Give us what division was he in?
AFC South.
Oh, okay, so I was thinking AFC. All right, so AFC South 2000s.
Delaney Walker.
No.
I think he was at the Niners in early 2000s. I think it was. I think he middle 2000s is when he was.
Oh, is it for the Colts? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's Colts because he's the.
Shit. I can picture his face, and I can't. Oh God.
I can't think of him. What's his name? He was a good ass tight end.
You may be able to get this one. He did not wear gloves. He did not wear gloves.
What's his name? What's that tight end's name?
All right.
Is it Dallas Clark?
Yes.
Dallas Clark. There it is. Great.
Jamie,
yeah.
Second behind this time, bud.
We finally got it. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a great one.
Yeah, that's a good one. We haven't had one do a tight end yet.
That was phenomenal. Good job, man.
Yeah, good
My
stuff.
last hint would have been Omaha. If you didn't get it then.
Yeah.
Dude, soon as you said AFC South, I knew it was somebody on the Colts, and I should have done that earlier because Peyton was really the only person who consistently gave them problems on offense.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I thought you would have gotten the Iowa tight end because of George Kittle.
Yeah, some 49ers fan you are, Jeff.
Yeah,
good job.
I literally know nothing about college football. I don't watch I've never watched a single game in the last 3 or 4 years, other than the championship game. You could tell me Big Ten school, you could tell me SEC, whatever, and I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about it. So the college hints never helped me out at all. I can't even tell you what schools my guys that I like, in the NFL went to. So college hints never helped me out. And Jamie did get it. I don't know how soon he got it. I just
literally soon as the words came out of my mouth, he probably was just slow typing it.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, it's cool to be second best, bud.
All right, fellas, that wraps the podcast up. We'll do a little quick round robin here. Give us your Twitter handle one more time, and you can plug anything you'd like to plug. We'll go to you first, Dylan.
Thanks, boys, for having me. You can check me out at Dylan S Sports One. Hopefully, there'll be a episode coming out on the Big D podcast later this week, and hopefully Dynasty, Best Ball, Redraft, Superflex. There's so many other drafts I didn't even think would be available when I started playing fantasy football.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Good stuff, man. Ryan, what you got going on?
Just find me on Twitter, Foss834. You're here every week if you're here still listening at this point. So y'all know.
Yeah, after Jamie's joke, people just logged off at that.
Yeah, I'm broke now. I don't got shit to say. I'm good.
All right, guys. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at JeffLambert77. We got a bunch of big things coming up in the month of April. We have our 8th annual NFL draft, our mock draft. We do the first round. We got some great guests coming on to do that. And then, of course, we have our 3-day NFL draft coverage. We'll be live for the entire NFL draft, all 3 days. So make sure you check us out for that. April's going to be a big month. And then me and Ryan, I think, Ryan, at this point, we're not going to do the rookie profiles pre-draft. We'll do rookie profiles post-draft with landing spots and everything else.
Yeah, it'll be better that way. We're busy people, kind of.
Yeah, we'll be different than everybody else. They got their rookie profiles in early. We'll do ours after they got their landing spots.
that way Jeff can talk and know what he's doing a little bit.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right, for Ryan, for Dylan, I'm Jeff. We will see y'all next week.
Bye.